On this pitch from yesterday to today. There's no doubt that any score of 275 or more will be a very tough ask on this pitch. Mavanatha Pathu wants wickets. He's picked up 3, but he's got to keep getting them regularly.
Bowling.
End of Bandar is over. The lead 179 and India 119 for 3. .87 minutes in this session gone, 18 overs, 90 runs, 2 wickets. So in terms of how it's gone this session, it's been equal. But as mentioned earlier, the Indians slowly but steadily getting a firm grip on this game. And to tell you more and to take you up to tea, in the commentary box, it's Ranjit Fernando and Lakshman Sivaramakrishnan.
Thank you, Ranil. India in good position. 119 for 3. Partnership between these two, Pathan and Dravid, worth 33. And they are in a good mood, the crowd here. Good side in most stadiums in India. Now you have a giant screen where people can see the replays and at times see themselves. Good enough reason for them to get to the ground.
Certainly, yes. I think there's reason for them to be in a good mood as well, as they see themselves out there. In India too, he's doing exceedingly well. And out in the middle is Captain Rahul Dravid and Irfan Pathan. What an impact he's made.
Well, just get to the point straight away. Ranjit, we're just having a little chat. All of us, me included, were surprised by Pathan coming into open. And we mentioned the word experiment. And it really is the wrong word for me, because a lot of times that these moves were made by Greg Chappell, it's very often succeeded. So I think it's more of a process that the Indian team is doing. Tries to take the aerial route. Doesn't make good contact, Dravid, just a single.
Yes, Shiva, I couldn't agree more with you on that, purely because I think they appear to be weighing the pros and the cons of the decision they are making as to what percentage they have for success and what percentage for failure. And whenever the decision is made, I think they weigh to see whether the chances of success is greater than failure, and they take the decision. And here again, in this case, it would seem that there's a rationale behind them using Irfan Pathan and holding back Dravid, I think, was so important for India to take on the bowling of Muralidharan and Bandara later on, because there's no doubt he's probably the best player of spin in the side. And also to use Pathan earlier on, because he could strike the ball. He plays very good textbook cricket, and at the same time could score quickly. So they could get as many runs as possible when the ball is hard to. So in that sense, I don't think it's an experiment, and you're quite right in saying that it's really a thought process that has gone into it, and it's more a process.
So Dravid and Chappell putting together their thoughts, and it's been successful again. Pathan on 68. Could make the difference to this match. Bit of being pushed back. Calls for 2, Pathan. Get it quite easily.
His highest first-class score. And again, this man Pathan, he certainly is a very good thinker in the game and recognizes a situation very quickly on that occasion. As soon as he pushed the ball into the gap, he realized that there was 2 in it and was straight away calling for the second.
Bowling.
8 fours and 2 sixes in this innings for Pathan. Very healthy strike rate. Calls for 2 again. Gunawardena in the deep is not the quickest. Good sensible running between these two. India 124 for 3. It's a good scoring chart for Pathan. Very good square of the wicket on both sides. Nice even spread. 51% on the offside and 49 on the leg side.
As you could see that he's got shots all over, and none of them were any plain slogging. It was just very good cricket shots.
We've got to make the breakthrough somewhere, Sri Lanka. Wickets falling for India at 12, 42 and 86. Quicker. So provided the pace, Malinga Bandara and Rahul Dravid has timed it to perfection.
What a shot by Rahul Dravid. One would have thought that he was in fact attempted to play a defensive shot, but at the last minute he realized that there was a gap in that onside area and just worked it in that direction, and picking up 4 runs in the process. This is why he's such a difficult batsman to bowl to, and even the spinners would find him difficult to cope with or keep quiet.
There is a man in the deep, just a single. But as a spinner, you want to get the batsman driving. Can't drop a shot.
We've regularly emphasized the fact that it's the batsman really that determines the pitch itself. So this was a pitch where wickets did fall in a heap at times, but the manner in which Dravid and Irfan Pathan are batting, it would seem that it seems to have got better, but I don't think that's really the case. It's really the batting.
And talking about the pitch itself, you've seen once a batsman gets in, there is a good chance that he can make big runs. Tendulkar got in, he got 109. Then we saw a good innings from Marwan Atapattu, 88. Jayawardena played exceptionally well for 60. Jayawardena got himself out. Well, even Sachin Tendulkar and Jayawardena took 4 shots, both given being out leg before. But once you get in, there is a great opportunity.
Absolutely, and also it's a type of pitch where you really can't take your guard away. You need to concentrate every delivery.
Looking for the footmarks. Tight run. Safe in the end. 130 for 3. .41 overs remaining still in this game. Could well determine which way the match is going. It looks India now, lead by 197 wickets in hand. And something to cheer for, everybody here at the Firozshah Kotla in Delhi.
It's a change of bowling, and for Sri Lanka they need to do something very quickly, as the lead that India is now established is quite sizable considering the way this game has gone so far. The the runs that have been scored. 190 runs on. So Chamin Devas has been recalled to the attack. He's the man who's picked up wickets.
Looking for yet another wicket. Murli just a short spell from the pavilion end. Now it's Chamin Devas. Saw Dilhara Fernando bowled shot to Pathan, and now there is a deep square leg and a deep fine leg for Chamin Devas against Pathan. A short mid-wicket.
Again, I think, Shiva, I sense that the Sri Lankans are in a sort of disarray at the moment. They don't seem to be sticking to any sort of plan, as the Indians really have disrupted all their plans purely by making runs quickly. And that's really what both Pathan and Dravid have done by picking up boundaries and also the singles.
And will continue to pick up runs. Fumble in the deep again. Gunawardena.
That was very, very sloppy, and this really does compound Sri Lanka's problems. So you can't afford to give runs away like this when your bowlers are trying, and so there is a tendency for heads to droop. The fielding must lift them up.
Gunawardena getting a test match. Jayasuriya not there for this tour. He's not the quickest fielders in world cricket. But this must be quite frustrating for the Sri Lankans. They wouldn't have expected Pathan to come and open the innings and get 75. Still going strong.
Yes, I think they probably felt that Pathan might throw his bat around and get a few and sort of lose his wicket, but that doesn't seem to be the case. He's now batting very much like a top order batsman, and this has made life a bit of misery for the Sri Lankans. I think the frustration is growing.
Maybe also threw them off guard. Watching Pathan coming to open, all of a sudden realized they might have to open with Muralidharan, who was not used to bowling with the new ball.
Yes, I think that again is a case of really doing a hit or miss, making a hit or miss decision. Really, one could have kept back Muralidharan, as he is not the type of bowler who really could respond to a situation like that. Oh, very well kept by Sangakkara. Good take. He really needs a wicket-keeper to try and lift this up. You could see that Mavanathavatu realizes that heads are drooping and things have to be done to try and get this up. A little bit of reverse for Chamin Devas, but a very good take. It's really the wicket-keeper who could set the tempo in a situation like this, and one could expect Sangakkara to do that.
Need a lot of support, the bowlers. It's going to be hard work. Look at both teams, you'll find that Sri Lanka have Chamin Devas and Muralidharan as the main weapons. Dilhara Fernando and Bandara just provide support. Indians have Kumble, Harbhajan, both can strike. And there is Pathan with the new ball. What? India got a lead of 60 in the second innings. Nicely placed, 132 for 3. Pathan being the main contributor, 75 not out. Gambhir went cheaply, so did Lakshman. Tendulkar looked good but was dismissed by a good delivery from Bandara. Dravid now, 19 not out. Good partnership of 46 between these two batsmen. Wants the cameraman's attention. Maybe he's got his name scribbled on the pad. If not his face, at least his name. It's been been quite economical for a spinner, leg spinner especially. Malinga Bandara has kept it tight, but he needs to bowl a lot slower through the air. That's much better. If you look at the speed, 73.9. The slower you bowl, the more the batsman will think. The more he thinks, the more confused he will get. It's the top spinner.
Clever delivery by Bandara. There you are, I could see the flight as well. It's above the batsman's eye line. In fact, had Dravid guessing for a while. Dravid was not quite sure whether he should get up to it or grope into the shot. Decided on the latter. Was beaten.
In reducing his speed, we saw Anil Kumble make the adjustment when India bowled. Malinga Bandara, it's quite understandable. He's playing test matches after 7 years. Taking him a couple of matches to get into the groove.
It's not the ideal time, I think, for Malinga to really look to try and give the ball a little bit more air, slow down the pace, because he's now got into a rhythm, he's got a confidence, and he's really been economical so far. And I feel the team itself probably believes a lot more in him now.
Certainly was an inside edge. Difficult chance for Mubarak, but those need to be taken. Sri Lanka will have to take even half chances.
In fact, it was a good delivery once again. Probably a thin inside edge, shouts of catch it, cries of it. But Mubarak not really been able to grab onto that. Similar to the one that Gambhir held of Marwan Athapattu. Those have to stick, but for Sri Lanka's sake, they certainly must be hoping that they would stick.
.133 for 3. So Dravid on 20. Pathan on 75. Thought Dravid was a little lucky in the last over. Mubarak putting down a chance. The runs were given. It'll be interesting to see if there was an inside edge. We'll come to that in just a moment. Chamin Dabas will continue.
He's continued to take on the heavy load, Chamin Dabas, under whatever circumstances.
It's been tough. The second session always in India takes a lot out of you. That's when it's hot and humid. First innings performance is much better. 192 wickets, so he loves that freshness in the pitch. Maybe second innings, fewer wickets, because Murali has done most of the damage.
One can't find a more competitive person than Chamin Dabas. He's ever ready to take on whatever load, and now he's also been entrusted the job of vice captain. Got a slip in position here. He's looking to angle it away towards that slip region. That's where his strength has been on pitches like this.
Last over of Malinga Bandara. Rahul Dravid, we thought, got an edge. What does the snicker say? Well, a small little graph going up. It's a very difficult one to make a decision on. The runs were given. More runs. from the leg side, but the Snicko, you can't really make out if it's a hard impact that a wood ball onto willow or ball onto the pad.
It's also not easy for the Sri Lankans bowling to a left and right hander. Partnerships of a left and right hander is far more difficult to bowl to than a partnership with batsmen batting the same way. So they need to make the adjustment for every time the batsman change ends.
Inputs from everywhere. Sangakkara wants a change in field. No slips. Plenty of men on the leg side. Good delivery. A bit of swing. Looking for the block hole. Shamindabaz.
Yes, what's been special about Irfan Pathan's batting is that he's been able to keep the good deliveries away, which only good batsmen could do. And Shamindabaz really has tried everything in his repertoire to try and dispense of this batsman, but hasn't had too much luck or success.
Good take again by Sangakkara, very athletic. India 134 for 3. Two wickets are lost in this session. Tendulkar and VVS Lakshman. Patriotism getting everywhere. Tricolours on their faces, cheeks, foreheads. Do anything to get the attention. I wonder why he's got a mask. Nobody can recognize him.
Bowling.
Travis batting at number 5 in the second innings. Played very fine. Ginawardena in the deep. Will cut it off, but enough time for the batsman to pick up 2.
You could do that easily, particularly when the pace is quick. It picks up the 50 partnership, made of 82 balls. So the ball really doesn't spin too much. It's quite easily done. But if there's a little bit more air, there's going to be bounce, and there is an element of risk.
Can sometimes happen from the footmarks. Just from the other end. Got a bit of bad bounce. Bandara.
So you see the ease with which Dravid gets him away. Bad bounce for Bandara. So brings Irfan Pathan on strike. He's really not had too much opportunity. He's been dormant for a while.
Has been stuck on 75 for a while now, Pathan. But he's keeping his cool, that's important.
He's quickly realized that he's nearing 100 now, and could see that his attitude, his approach, his mindset has changed.
We're getting very close to tea time, so might just want to play through Pathan. He's been on 75 for the last 4 overs. Good solid defense. 137 for 3.
पता नहीं गौरी ऐसा क्यों कर रही है। वो मां बनने वाली है और उसे अपनी कोई फिक्र है ही नहीं।
फिक्र तो है, लेकिन मैं जीना तो नहीं छोड़ सकती ना। मैं बैंगलोर क्या गई और वो किसी और के साथ।
गौरी मुझे कब समझेगी?
प्रथम शायद कभी नहीं बदलेगा।
ये बढ़ती गलतफहमियां न जाने कब मिटेंगी। गुड होम सिर्फ सोनी एंटरटेनमेंट टेलीविजन एशिया पर।
So the partnerships, small little ones, 12 early dismissal of Gambhir, then 30 between Lakshman and Pathan. Pathan was the dominant partner. Tendulkar and Pathan putting on 44. But this one by far the best. 51 still together, Dravid and Pathan. It's easy pickings. You do not bowl to the Indian batsman on the pads. Just the single that time.
So what's been significant is the fact that Dravid now seems to be having a lot of faith in Pathan, and is quite prepared to let Pathan, in fact, take the initiative. He's really playing second fiddle to Pathan.
Just the single, Samaravira in the deep. Dravid probably has a point to prove. His test averages as a batsman when he's captain hasn't been the best. Here's a great opportunity for him to set it right. Make a match-winning contribution as a skipper.
As captain, just a mere 21 as against a test career of 57. As non-captain, we saw those figures, 60 as non-captain. So you can see the gap he'll have to cover or bridge. You are the difference between the captaincy and the normal average is 39, isn't it? 36.
And 36 is a lot of numbers in that average. Very studious, as we all know, Rahul Dravid. Must be quite aware of that fact.
So one must concede it's still very early days for him as captain, and captaincy is something you grow in the job rather than inherit something and take on something straight away.
Bit of width. In fact, Dravid doing extremely well to reach out for the ball and get a feel of it. Will pick up 2. India now lead by over 200, 201. Well, not much when he opens, but at number 3 is customary position, 60.9. That's a very good average. And 6 and 7, again being good, 68.8 and 69.8. He's been very good, apart from opening. Finds the outside edge this time. And Samaravira, the fielder. Good running between these two again. 2 to end the over. It's 143 for 3. And it will be tea on day 3. Be a happy man, Rahul Dravid. India have done very well on day 3. Picked up early wickets to dismiss Sri Lanka for 230, a lead of 60, and then the process began. Pathan sent in to open along with Gautam Gambhir, who's played extremely well, batting on 76 in front. Pathan, Dravid on 29. Early loss of Gautam Gambhir, again playing across the line to Chamindabaz. Pathan has been the star with the bat so far. VVS Lakshman Good delivery again by Vaz, finding the outside edge. And then Tendulkar, the big wicket for Malinga Bandara. It was the flipper going straight on. Hit the pad first and then the bat. Good decision from Simon Toffin. Dravid looking good on 29.
Sri Lankans did pick up 3 wickets, but again, they would have wanted to have had more, particularly the wicket of Pathan. Chaminda was again, as usual, or the most successful bowler. 2 for 38 in 12. Muralidharan still wicketless, Bandara picking up 1. And that, the all-important wicket of Sachin Tendulkar.
Take a look at some of the highlights. After lunch, it was all Pathan. That was a miscue. Bulhara Fernando was dropping it a little too short. That was a gorgeous shot from Laxman. This was the dismissal. Great comeback. Terrific delivery. Had to play at it. Getting a healthy edge for Sangakkara to do the rest.
Sachin Tendulkar was... there was a lot of short deliveries to Pathan. He picked up runs of them and some very delightful shots. That was Sachin Tendulkar at his best, penetrating the field on the offside, heavily packed, but he had no difficulty. And again, a repeat 2 by Pathan. He too played some very good textbook shots on both sides of the wicket.
And Sachin again, just wide of Sangakkara, and then the dismissal. Looked like the impact was outside off, but the replay is confirmed. That was well within line and a terrific decision. Falling short again, the low bounce not helping the bowler's cause. Bit of width to free his arms. Played well Pathan, 8 4s and 2 6s in this innings so far. And then Dravid, this was classical. Technically the most correct batsman in the Indian team. Waits for the loose deliveries and puts them away.
This is the crucial session for both sides. India in a terrific position, leading by 203. A lot of work to do for the Sri Lankans. They walk in they've really got to change their destiny in this game. So he turned it around on its head. Got India last 7 wickets for 45 runs there. And then in reply, they fell short by 60. Atapadu getting 88. And now India, well, they've sprung a surprise on Sri Lanka once again. And it's worked. So the important thing is that these experiments have to work. Pathan 76 not out. 3 Indians dismissed so far. First to go, Gautam Gambhir. Again too far across. Adjudged LBW. Almost a similar kind of thing in the first innings. He's got to get a hold of that front foot of his. Next to go, this was a terrific delivery. Lakshman after lunch, the outside edge, just a tickle, but good movement. And Sachin Tendulkar, real big one. Adjudged LBW, and I thought that was a good decision in the end. He wasn't satisfied. There was a bit of willow on it, but after that. So, man of the moment, Irfan Pathan, and of course the Indian think tank for actually sending him there to open. He's got his runs. It's not only runs that matter, but the way that he's scored them. He's got them in quick time, in 116 deliveries. He's kept the scoreboard ticking, and that's what's hurt Sri Lanka the most. It's the manner in which the runs have come. They haven't been able to attack. This hasn't allowed any bowler to dominate, least of all Muralidharan.
And the captain, 29 not out. Came in at 86, that's when the 3rd wicket fell, so good partnership. 57 of 92 deliveries. He's been looking to play shots all the time.
Ranil, a brave decision, I'll say again, to send Irfan Pathan opening. You could be criticised to kingdom come if that hadn't succeeded, but it has, so that's what matters. And really, it's not only, I'm not only saying it in the context of this game, but it certainly provides opportunities for the Indian team, because here is a man who's come in opening and he's provided the momentum. 76 is Pathan. Chappell would be extremely pleased with that. And this is the future that is being affected today. And you may be seeing the birth of a genuine all-rounder. It's not the fact that he's come in and hit over the top and he's chanced his arm. Very authentic cricket he's played. And here he is against Murli. So it's that crucial period after tea. A lot of wickets generally fall after tea here. That's the general belief in the people around these parts. There's no real reason for it. Let's see if Sri Lanka can turn it around.
Yes, and the man who can turn it around is Muttai Muralidharan. He'll have to bowl maybe 12, maybe 15 very good overs and try and get wickets at regular intervals if Sri Lanka are to stay alive. No wickets yet for Muralidharan.
More runs for Pathan. He'll have to be content with one. But that's been the problem. Muralidharan not getting wickets now. That can be a huge problem for Atapattu and Sri Lanka. He's the man who ripped open the Indians in the first innings. But mind you, he bowled a lot of overs. 39 overs he bowled in the first innings. That was yesterday. So recovery could be a problem. He's also getting on in age. He's a great athlete. He's always been admired by everybody, not only for his bowling prowess, but also for his athleticism. That's his first and second innings. There's a lot of overs. It's gone beyond the 50 over mark. Now that could definitely take its toll, Ranil.
Yes, there have been numerous occasions when he's bowled 70, 75, 80 overs in a match. And of course, time has its effects, and maybe now he's bowled this long spell after a long while, and perhaps a few stiff areas, the fingers maybe not really strong enough to give the big spin, but here he gets it online and gives a big shout. Umpire Taufel says no, he just needs a wicket. That's what's important. He needs a wicket early.
Yes, that certainly would have gone down the leg side. It's on the front foot. At least there's enough doubt in it. Good decision again by Mr. Taufel. He's being tested. Swept for a single. But you're absolutely right. After a while, you start getting tired. With age, you've bowled 50 overs. You do get tired, almost imperceptibly so. You don't realize it, but maybe the shoulder, maybe the fingers. You're trying it, but it's not happening for you. But all that can change. The adrenaline can start flowing all over again if he gets one breakthrough. That's what he's looking for. It's the end of the over. 145 for 3. Today's menu, Murli fry. Well, don't count your chickens before they're hatched. Murli fry can be a dangerous, dangerous dish indeed. Well, we're just talking about Murli, Ranil. I've just been handed a few interesting figures. The success rate of Sri Lanka goes up radically when he's playing for the Sri Lankan team. Obviously, he's such a great champion. But it's pretty radical. 15% win percentage without Murli, and 37.11 is the percentage with Murli in the team. And that's only to be expected because he's such a great champion. We'll sort of come back to that. For the moment, it's Fernando. After tea, Dilhara. Bit of in swing, but it's not on target. It's down the leg side, off the pad. One leg by. So they are using the old ball to get some reverse. This could be a good ploy. They just need one wicket to get a foothold in. But talking about Murli again, let's just take a look at this replay. Good amount of swing, but it's down the leg side and tends to swing more if it's sort of angled to the leg stump rather than from outside off. Yeah, coming back to that Murli factor, Ranil, there is a bit of a downside to having such a champion like him. You could be over-dependent on him. Secondly, because he bowls so many overs, the other bowlers are sort of, in a manner, feel left out or not given that much importance or not that many opportunities to develop as he has. That's the downside, but he really has to produce the goods.
Yes, but you look at it very honestly, Arun, it's since the advent of Muralidharan that Sri Lanka started winning test matches fairly regularly, and so he naturally became a very vital, important factor, important player in the team. And then, of course, with the Chamindavas coming in and giving him that support, Sri Lanka began to win more matches. So the pair, the duo, certainly helped Sri Lanka. And, of course, with the two of them, and particularly Murali bowling a lot of overs, bowlers are deprived of long spells. And really, there's no way out. I mean, you've got to have players to win matches for the moment. And maybe now, with their years coming reasonably close to an end, it is time to start looking for the new brigade. And the likes of Dilara Fernando, Malinga Bandara's got the opportunity, still young. They've got to try and make use of these opportunities. There's Veera Kohn, the left-arm spinner, in the dressing room. He's another good prospect. So the new players have got to start getting themselves in and making most of the opportunities.
Indeed, and meanwhile they're trying to tempt Pathan outside the off stump with these away swingers. That is a good shot, firm straight hit. That's where he's best. Bit of a chase on. He's coming back for the third. He'll have to hurry. That could have been a near thing, but it isn't. So 3 more runs to Pathan. What a lovely straight drive.
Yes, they took the chance on Malinga Bandara's arm because he had almost turned to throw when they started the third run. And just that jab taking the ball all the way close to the boundary, and that throw wasn't powerful enough. And in the end, Irfan Pathan making his ground very comfortably. Good running. And he moves on to 80. What an innings, what a performance.
Yes, indeed. That's a good shot, that'll be 4. There's no chasing that one down. He's getting the obvious in swing. The batsman is also aware of it. But he's got to direct it from outside the off stump. Can't help you if you stray on to the pads of these Indians. This is the highest score by Dravid as captain. So that should give him a measure of confidence. I'm sure he's probably not aware.
Yes, too much drift towards the pads. And Rahul Dravid just getting into position, well balanced. Weight mainly on the front foot, but still had the balance to nicely flick it off his pads.
That's a target. 153 for 3. But the Indian machine rolls on. But I can see the point you were making about Murali Ranil, about him being such an integral part of the team. Now let me give you some figures. 38 games played before the advent of Muralidharan and only 2 victories in Test cricket out of 38, a percentage of 5.26. Then walks in Mr. Muralidharan, and Sri Lanka since then have won 39 Test matches. Would you believe that? They had won only 2 and then they won 39. That will be 4. Good use of his feet, Rahul Dravid, so he's getting in confidence. That's a welcome sight, terrific to watch. The batsman using his feet against the spinner, and that too, Muralidharan.
This is a good start after the tree break for the Indians. They've got amongst the runs. Dravid picked up the flight there and made good use of it. Down the track to hit it for 4.
And out of the 39 matches that Sri Lanka have won, 36 has featured Mr. Muthaiya Muralidharan. So he's huge in this Sri Lankan scheme of things. But then we're talking about the downside, and we also puts a lot of pressure on Muralidharan to produce that performance day in and day out, because he's the one who's meant to do it. He and Vas. We talk about pressure on batsmen. What about the pressure on this man, Muralidharan? Whatever the situation, he's got to come in and perform.
Of course, he loves to bowl, and so whatever the outcome, he'll just go out there and just bowl and bowl and bowl.
Well, for the moment, the Indians are doing it perfectly. Pathan on to 82. They're getting the singles, they're getting boundaries, so they're getting runs. And that's the name of the game. These are very important runs. Has the wicket eased out, or is it just that the batsmen, once they get set, it becomes difficult on this wicket to prize them out, as has been the case we've seen throughout this game? Suddenly, when the batsman gets set, it looks like nothing's happening on the wicket. It's 160 for 3. India 160 for 3. We keep coming back to Muralidharan. Let me give you another figure I've just been provided with by Mohandas Menon. She's probably bunking school or something like that. I was talking about Muralidharan again. Can you believe it? 40% of wickets that have been taken by Sri Lanka as a test playing nation have been taken by him since his debut. He's taken 570 before this game out of 1441. 40%. And it must have gone up after he took 7 in this game. So there you are. Colossus. So he's again always under pressure. So much so for Muralidharan. But at the moment they've kept him at bay. And coming back to this wicket, it does seem that way, that once they're settled, it's really feels that nothing is happening on the wicket, and you get one breakthrough and suddenly the process of wickets falling begins, and it's difficult to arrest, especially when the ball is old. Incoming batsmen find it difficult to negotiate and get settled.
One thing that has happened over the 3 days is that the first session we've seen a lot of wickets fall. Maybe not on the first day, but then that's expected. You have a good pitch to start off with. It did happen on the second day, it did happen on the third day. And perhaps the dew falling on the pitch once it's opened around 7 o'clock, the overnight sweating, it may have some contribution. Also on day 1 we started at 10 o'clock, whereas on day 2 it was 9:15. Today it was 9:30. So that, I think, is something we can establish, that the morning session has been a little bit difficult for the batsmen.
That is a good hit from the meat of the blade. He's not following these deliveries that are being bowled outside the off stump as he was sometime earlier on in his innings. Only when it's within reach, he's playing it firmly. Beautiful balance. He's leaning into his shots. Perfect.
Yes, he's taken to it like a duck to water. There's been no nerves. He's not been worried about the task. But he's just gone on and played his natural game.
He'll have to hurry. Did he throw the wrong end?
I reckon his pickup was such that he just couldn't adjust to throw to the other end. He was running in the direction of the non-striker's end, and so he went through with the throw rather than turn around and try and hit the stumps at the keeper's end. And in the end, yes, that end, Dravid was more closer to getting to the crease.
Did manage to get the outside edge. Pathan had better tighten up. There are two slips in waiting. He's angling the ball away, and he's also getting that drift away. So he's got to be careful.
This really made him follow that. Would have gone right down Gully's throat had there been one, but for most of the time the Sri Lankans have been bowling with just the one or maybe the two slips.
Good firm hit, but not for runs. 163 for 3. Well, do you think you can get her twice? Our cameramen are playing games. And that is 4. Certainly can't be chased down. This is lightning quick, this outfield. Slightly short, and Pathan is really in his elements. He's thriving.
Yes, the short ball just sits up and is there to be hit. Good position, a big stride back, good balance. He picked it up early. The head was still when he made contact. Eye on the ball, good stroke.
That was tremendous work. I mean, if there are any youngsters watching, that's what you got to do. Just keep your eye on the ball. That's 80% of batting. Watch the ball hit the blade. Brilliant. It's as simple as that. Keep watching the ball hitting the blade. More often than not, you're out when you're not watching the ball. That has been hammered past him. Muralidharan is being treated with contempt at the moment. Pathan into the 90s.
Showing absolutely no respect. The man who's taken 7 wickets in the first innings. Heaps of wickets in Test cricket. Irfan Pathan is now attacking him. Just smashed it down the ground. Muralidharan thought that he could get his right hand to it, but he was far too late. It went past him like a bullet.
Was this a master stroke or what? Irfan Pathan being sent in to open the innings. Nothing succeeds like success. He's also reading him well now. That was the obvious dusra. Wow, we're seeing a birth of an all-rounder here, if ever there was one.
Come on, get one here.
Arun Irfan Pathan is now approaching his first class 100, his first test match 100. And it must be having a little bit of an effect on him. It's a big occasion. And very important that he doesn't lose his patience, that he's got to keep going this way. If he gets it to hit a boundary, he's got to do it. Otherwise, just push it around and just stay in there.
Yes, indeed. He's played that into the gap for a single. He'll retain strike. 93 to Pathan. It's 172 for 3. Fabulous partnership, 86 of 122, and in the context of this game, this could prove decisive. Sri Lanka really need wickets, and in bunches. Lead now 232. Irfan Pathan on 93. A slip, or maybe a second slip and a fourth slip. Seven on the off. This is a good ploy. Man is in his 90s. Just keep bowling to him around that off stump or slightly outside it, angling it away with 7 on the offside. Just stifle him a bit. Maybe he does something wrong. Maybe he goes at the ball very hard. That's the field. A deep point fielder, a deep third man, point, cover, mid-off, and the 2 slips. Just the 2 on the onside, so he can't afford to bowl on leg stump at all.
Good turn of speed there from Dilara Fernando. Yes, and after Irfan Pathan edged one through the slips in the previous over, slips have spread out. First slip is around where second slip would be, or between first and second. And then second slip has moved further across. He's somewhere around fourth slip. So they are spread out. And Fernando is aiming to try and get the ball to go towards them.
This is really good thinking. Keep him in the 90s. Let him sweat it out. He's getting his runs far too quickly. Like you said, Ranil, that this is his first, or will be his first 100, should he get there. He's obviously going to be nervous at the moment. He's never experienced anything like this in his life. So let him really sweat it out, make it difficult for him. And with this kind of a line, angle and field setting, it is difficult.